as a gardener, we are at the mercy of nature and the weather, and we've got a big rainstorm. Now, this particular rainstorm, thank you, yes.
Reinforced. We've got the birds.
The birds, they have a chorus.
Yeah, our band. Yeah.
And they're emphasizing that this is going to be a heavy rain.
Hi everyone, it's Sharon and Mark from Ponderosa Garden Adventures, and we are here for What's Up Wednesday. So, what's up, Mark?
Hey everyone, it is Wednesday and we have a big rainstorm coming in, so we thought we would talk about how we prep for the rain.
Right. So we want to talk about how we prep for the rain. We had a change of plans because if it wasn't going to rain, those are things we were going to do. And then we want to talk about what we do when we know the rain is coming. So first is prep. So we want to go through and pick up any tools we've left out in the yard, or anything else that shouldn't be getting wet.
Right. Anything that's not waterproof, the standard things you would do for any rainstorm. Bring in upholstery and stuff that you don't want to get wet.
Right, the cushions, all that. Right.
And another thing we used to worry about a lot during rainstorms, but not anymore, was flooding. The yard is at a very steep angle, about 6 degrees, so it drains very well. But there used to be some low spots in the back that flooded, but we fixed that over the years by anytime we had some extra dirt after a project, we would just fill up those holes, pull in those holes.
Right.
And now we have not had any flooding in major rains.
No, and we mulched the whole area back there. And the other thing I did was I put in a willow tree. It is actually a black peppermint willow, and willow trees are very thirsty. So they'll take any water around that they can get. And so all of those things have really, really helped.
So another thing we need to think about when it's going to rain is our irrigation, because we don't want to be running the irrigation while it's raining. That would be wasteful.
We don't want to waste water.
So we've gone through and we made sure we've shut off all the irrigation, and also checked the rain barrels, make sure the hoses are attached and that there's no blockages.
Right. Screens are clear. Everything's good to go, so we can capture that water. Because certainly we want to save as much water as we can and use as much of the rainwater as we can.
That's what we normally do. There's some other things we typically do before a rainstorm, but since this is going to be a very heavy rain, they're predicting about 1 inch of rain in a 12-hour period, which is heavy but not unusual for this climate, this zone. But if it's a heavy rain, there's certain things that we would do that we're not going to do this time, such as planting seeds.
Right.
Because our experience is with a very heavy rain like that, if you get 1 inch of rain, the water's going to pool up, the seeds are going to float to the top, and then when it drains out, the seeds are going to be all on one corner of the bed, and you have all these plants and then nothing over on this side. So no seeds, although we have some seeds from the last week or two that are germinating, and they're going to be fine.
They'll be fine. They've already got to start. The other thing is we don't typically do nematodes. We were planning, that was our original plan for this week before we knew the storm was coming. We knew we were supposed to get a little bit of rain, but we didn't know it was going to be a heavier rain. So that's another thing. It's great to do if you have a light rain coming, because it helps keep the soil moist, which is what you need when you're adding nematodes. But what you don't want is to have a deluge of water, because then that can damage the nematodes and they can't do what they need to do. Yeah.
Same thing with fertilizer. If we put some organic fertilizer in the ground, if there's too much rain, it's just going to wash through and we're just wasting it. We took a bunch of tasks we were going to do this week off the list, and we'll probably do them after the rainstorm, like the nematodes and the fertilizer and the seeds and stuff. But some things that we do like to do before a rainstorm, regardless of how heavy, is to get some seedlings in the ground. Right. Get those roots in the ground.
Seedlings and other plants, the 1 gallon, half gallon, those plants. We've got a few around that need to get transplanted into the ground, and so it's a good time to do that.
We'll probably plant a rose of Sharon out front before this rainstorm. And then after the rainstorm, the same thing applies. The earth is going to be really moist and really soft. The soil we have here in this zone is like clay, so when it dries out, it's very hard and difficult to dig more than a few inches. But after a rainstorm, it's very soft. One last thing that we like to do after a rainstorm is to dig up any weeds, especially the deep-rooted ones like crabgrass and stuff, because the soil, again, is much softer, and it'll go much faster. So right after the storm, end of this week, we're going to be hitting the weeds and planting some of the larger container size.
That's what we wanted to talk about, was just prep for the rain and get a couple of plants in and hold off on those things that we were planting, because it's going to be a bigger rainstorm. So in the comments, let us know what's up for your Wednesday. What are you working on in your area? We just want to come to you each week and let you know what's going on right at this point in the garden, and hope that it's something helpful for you.
Thanks for watching What's Up Wednesday on Ponderosa Garden Adventures. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.